What if the next time you open your laptop, you realize you're no longer needed? Not because you failed, not because you didn't work hard, but because something smarter, faster, and infinitely scalable has replaced you. This is not science fiction. This is happening right now. And it all started with one decision. A decision made quietly by one man, Sam Altman. Is this the beginning of humanity's greatest breakthrough, or the start of something we can no longer control? We are witnessing the moment when tools begin to feel like actors, when assistance becomes agency, and when decisions, once human, are routed through something colder, faster, and absolutely tireless. Tonight we trace the path to a single decision and the world it set in motion. Because behind every innovation is a quiet trade. Convenience for control, speed for stability, efficiency for certainty. We all feel the gravity of this shift, even those who celebrate it, because change does not ask permission. Some will adapt, some will resist, but none of us will be allowed to ignore it. This story is not about fear. It is about a decision and the power it unleashed. To understand what is coming, we must first understand the mind that chose it. Sam Altman didn't start with power. He started with curiosity. As a young student, he wasn't chasing money, he was chasing understanding. At just 19 years old, he made a decision that most people fear. He walked away from Stanford, not because he failed, but because he believed. The real world was a better classroom. To leave structure is to leave certainty. It is to step into cold air and trust your warmth will follow. Uncertainty is heavy. It makes the familiar look safer than it is, and the unknown look darker than it will be. But belief is a decision. It is not a guarantee. It is a kind of quiet power you carry when nothing else goes your way. When you choose belief over certainty, you accept risk over ritual. And in that trade, you begin to grow. Not all lessons require permission. Some require courage. The curriculum is written by the consequences. Sometimes the biggest risk is staying where you feel safe. Every step away from certainty feels like loss, until you realize it is momentum. The world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards attempts, especially the ones that look unreasonable. Great outcomes do not start with certainty. They start with the willingness to step outside the syllabus. Power often looks like a title, but its roots are older: discipline, curiosity, and the refusal to wait. This is where the path began, a choice to learn by doing, and to accept the cost of doing it. His first company, Looped, was not a massive success, but it wasn't a failure either. And this is where most people get stuck. In the middle. Not failing enough to quit, but not succeeding enough to grow. The middle is quiet. It feels like safety. It is the most seductive trap in the world. Average is dangerous because it convinces you to settle. Average asks nothing of you. It buys your time with small comforts and pays you in stalled momentum. Most people stop here, not because they can't go further, but because the next step requires unglamorous persistence. Talent starts the race. Persistence finishes it. Persistence is not passion. It is commitment when passion is busy elsewhere. Every no reduces noise. You learn where not to stand, which is the first step toward where you belong. If you are in the middle, do not settle. Decide. Move. Iterate. Adapt. Maybe you are here now, somewhere between failure and success, and you are tired. You wonder if it will ever break your way. Hear this. Progress is not a miracle. It is a schedule. Keep showing up when the world stops clapping. That is the bridge out of the middle. Small victories compound, the average line bends, and a new path opens. The middle did not hold him. He chose to keep moving. Then came a turning point. Sam Altman became president of Y Combinator, one of the most powerful startup ecosystems in the world. He wasn't just building companies anymore. He was observing patterns, understanding how innovation works, understanding how power shifts. The front line of creation is also the front row of the future. Exposure to Airbnb taught the power of community and trust at scale. Stripe proved that simplicity can move billions, an invisible rail can still change the world. Dropbox showed that reducing friction creates adoption. Make it easy, and it becomes inevitable. He learned from founders up close, their fears, their bets, their patterns of truth and error. Success leaves clues, but only if you're paying attention. Patterns in innovation are not prophecies. They are probabilities you learn to bet on. The right questions shape the right bets. Why now? Who suffers? What compounds? Power accrues to those who spot the curve before it bends. He collected patterns until one emerged that dwarfed the rest. A pattern with no ceiling, intelligence that learns how to learn. While others focused on apps, Sam focused on something much bigger: artificial intelligence. Not as a tool, but as a new form of intelligence. A system that could learn, adapt, and eventually outperform humans in many areas. What does AI mean? It means a substrate for thought that isn't biological, with speed unconstrained by blood and breath. It means inference at the speed of light, recall without fatigue, iteration without sleep. Software scales. Intelligence scales differently. Copy once, deploy everywhere. Capability spreads like weather. Every new instance learns from the last. Every user becomes a teacher. The system accelerates itself. Past technology replaced tasks. This technology replaces ceilings. There is no final version of intelligence, only the next gradient step. Scale means the decisions that optimize a block can soon optimize a continent. Why is this different from past technology? Because it touches cognition, the upstream source of all industries. It is generalizable. It absorbs domains like water absorbs shape. It doesn't just automate hands, it assists minds. It becomes collaborator, critic, and competitor. The future is not built by those who follow trends, but by those who see what others ignore. He saw it, and he decided to push. Then came the decision to release powerful AI systems to the public, not slowly, not cautiously, but at scale. Millions of people given access to something that could think, write, and create. The product was not just a feature, it was a portal to a different way of working. And the world crossed a line that day, whether it knew it or not. Releasing early comes with risk. Capabilities outpace controls. Incentives outpace institutions. Ethical concerns aren't decorations. They are guardrails we often build while already moving. Safety and speed are twin imperatives that refuse to align. Choose one, and the other objects. The biggest decisions are made when there are no clear answers. When you choose momentum at scale, you create facts on the ground, realities that force adaptation. The release turned the public into participants, co-designers of a system still learning. The field discovered new capabilities not in papers, but in practice. In the wild, intelligence meets friction and grows sharper. Across the world, power shifted, quietly, locally, personally. And then the impact began to compound. Today, AI is everywhere. Writing content, designing systems, making decisions. Entire industries are shifting, jobs are evolving, and some are disappearing. The line between authoring and auditing begins to blur. Real-world changes happen at the edge, where human judgment meets machine suggestion. Workplaces reconfigure. Roles shift from doing to directing. Education pivots. Less recall, more reasoning. Less memorize, more model. Skill becomes a stack. Human intuition, machine augmentation. The conversation matures. Not if, but how. Not fear, but design. Every revolution creates winners, and those who refuse to adapt. Refusal isn't strategy, it is surrender by delay. Adaptation is a choice dressed as a skill. We redesign education to teach judgment, context, and collaboration with systems. The new workflow becomes the new world. Some believe AI will solve humanity's biggest problems. Others believe it may create new ones. Control, bias, dependence, and the biggest fear: what happens when AI becomes better at being human than humans themselves? Both futures are plausible. Neither is guaranteed. Control is not a switch. It is governance. guardrails, and grit. We build policies that adapt as fast as the models adapt. We experiment in the open where possible and minimize blast radius where necessary. Risk is a living thing, so our defenses must live too. We teach not just how to use AI, but when not to. Dependence erodes judgment. Collaboration sharpens it. Dignity is preserved when humans remain final authorship of their choices. In the best version, AI returns us to the human parts of work. In the safest version, we design for failure as carefully as we design for success. The future will be negotiated, not delivered. This was never just about technology. It was about power. The power to shape the future of humanity. And that power is now concentrated in the hands of a few. When capability centralizes, responsibility must expand. We will need oversight sturdy enough to matter and flexible enough to learn. Because a future designed by a crowd of the thoughtful beats a future dictated by the few. Now the question is, will we control this technology, or will it slowly begin to control us? Control is distributed when competence is distributed. Democratizing understanding is a safety feature. We keep the human in the loop, not as a decoration, but as the decider. Power shared with intention becomes resilience. The future isn't decided by AI, it's decided by the people who choose how to use it. Design the rules you would want if you were the one most affected by them. Knowledge compounds when it is shared, not hoarded. Use the power. Keep the control. Protect the humanity. We stand at the edge of our next decision. Choose well, then adapt.